Perfection is an illusion. Progress is key. Many people hold themselves back by waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions to begin. They convince themselves that only when everything is flawless can they take the first step. This mindset traps them in a cycle of inaction, where progress is delayed indefinitely. Perfection becomes a wall that separates them from their goals, when in reality it's an unattainable standard. No plan will ever be entirely free of flaws, and no moment will ever be completely risk-free. The key is not to aim for perfection, but to embrace progress, however imperfect it may seem. Progress is the foundation of growth. It doesn't matter how small or seemingly insignificant the steps are. What matters is that you're moving forward. The pursuit of perfection often leads to procrastination because it creates an overwhelming expectation that discourages action. People think they need to have every detail in place before starting, but this mindset ignores the value of learning as you go. Each step forward provides new insights, clarifies your direction, and helps you refine your approach. The very act of progress makes your path clearer and your goals more achievable. Mistakes are often seen as failures, but they are a natural and necessary part of progress. When you focus on perfection, you view mistakes as obstacles that must be avoided at all costs. This fear of failure can paralyze you, keeping you from taking even the smallest actions. However, mistakes are not the end, they are lessons. Each misstep teaches you something valuable about what doesn't work and guides you toward what does. Progress is messy, and that's okay. Growth comes from the willingness to try, fail, and try again. Perfectionism is rooted in fear. It disguises itself as a pursuit of excellence, but at its core, it's a fear of being judged, failing, or not measuring up to unrealistic expectations. This fear holds people back from reaching their potential because it convinces them that it's better not to try at all than to risk imperfection. But the truth is, no one achieves greatness by waiting until everything is perfect. Success is built on consistent effort, resilience, and the courage to act despite uncertainty. Progress requires action. It's easy to get lost in planning, overthinking, or waiting for the right time. But plans, no matter how detailed, are only effective if they lead to action. Progress doesn't happen in your head, it happens in the real world. Even the most carefully crafted plan will need adjustments once you begin, because the reality of execution always differs from the theory of planning. By taking action, you gain the practical knowledge and experience that planning alone can't provide. When you let go of the need for perfection, you free yourself to take risks and explore possibilities. You begin to see that each small step forward is a victory, even if it doesn't look exactly how you imagined. Progress is about movement, not flawless execution. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, even when it feels imperfect or incomplete. Each effort builds momentum, and momentum creates the energy needed to overcome challenges and keep moving forward. The idea of perfection often prevents people from starting. They tell themselves they need more time, more skills, or more resources before they can begin. But waiting for perfection means waiting forever. The longer you wait, the more opportunities you miss. Progress, on the other hand, starts with what you have and where you are. You don't need everything to be perfect to begin, you only need the willingness to take the first step. Once you start, you'll find that many of the obstacles you anticipated are not as daunting as you thought. The pursuit of progress shifts your focus from outcomes to effort. Instead of worrying about whether your work is perfect, you concentrate on making consistent improvements. This mindset not only reduces the pressure to perform flawlessly, but also makes the journey more enjoyable. You learn to celebrate small wins, recognize your growth, and appreciate the process of becoming better. Progress is not about reaching a final destination, it's about evolving and learning along the way. Success is rarely the result of one perfect moment or action. It's the accumulation of small, consistent efforts over time. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture. The most successful people understand that perfection is neither achievable nor necessary. What matters is persistence, adaptability, and the ability to keep moving forward despite setbacks. They embrace progress, knowing that it's through continuous effort that they create results. Letting go of perfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means recognizing that striving for progress is the more effective path to success. Perfection is static, but progress is dynamic. It allows for growth, learning, and adaptation. By focusing on progress, you open yourself to possibilities you might have missed if you were fixated on an unattainable standard. You give yourself permission to take risks, experiment, and discover new ways of achieving your goals. Each step forward, no matter how small or imperfect, is a step closer to your dreams. Progress builds confidence, sharpens your skills, and strengthens your determination. It reminds you that success is not about being flawless, but about being persistent. When you prioritize progress over perfection, you move from a place of fear to a place of empowerment. You realize that every effort counts and that the journey itself is as valuable as the destination. Action aligns the universe to your goals. Thoughts, intentions, and dreams are powerful, but without action, they remain abstract and unrealized. The moment you take the first step, no matter how small, you initiate a chain of events that begins to shape the reality around you. Action creates energy, and energy moves things into alignment. It's as though the universe responds to your effort, bringing opportunities, people, and circumstances that support your path. But this alignment only happens when you act. Thinking alone does not carry the weight required to influence the world. Action is the force that sets things into motion. When you act on your goals, you create momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achieving success because it builds on itself. One small effort leads to another, and as you continue, the process becomes easier. Opportunities you couldn't have imagined before begin to appear. This isn't magic, it's the natural consequence of engaging with life. When you put energy into your actions, you attract corresponding energy. It's like sending a signal out into the world that says, "I'm ready," and the universe responds by opening doors you didn't even know existed. Taking action also helps you clarify your goals. Sometimes we believe we know what we want, but it's not until we start moving toward it that we gain true understanding. Action provides feedback. It shows you what works and what doesn't, what feels right and what needs adjustment. Without this feedback, you remain stuck in speculation, uncertain and hesitant. The process of acting refines your vision and gives you the clarity that no amount of thinking or planning can provide. The universe is vast and full of potential, but it can only respond to what you put into it. If you stand still, hoping for things to happen, you remain disconnected from the flow of life. Action is how you tap into that flow. It's how you show the world that you're serious about your intentions. This commitment not only draws external support, but also reinforces your internal belief in your ability to succeed. Confidence grows with each step, and this confidence becomes a driving force that propels you forward. Action also shifts your focus from fear to possibility. When you remain idle, doubts and fears can consume your thoughts. You may worry about failure, judgment, or the uncertainty of the future. But when you take action, your attention naturally shifts to the task at hand. You become engaged in the process. And the act of doing silences the noise of fear. Even if the outcome is uncertain, the satisfaction of moving forward outweighs the discomfort of hesitation. It's important to understand that action doesn't require perfection or complete certainty. Too often people wait for everything to align perfectly before they start. They believe they need more time, more skills, or better circumstances. But waiting only delays progress. The truth is, the act of starting is what creates alignment. Each step you take adjusts your path and draws the resources you need closer. Perfection is not a prerequisite for success, progress is. The universe doesn't reward ideas alone, it rewards effort. Every great achievement begins with a single action, followed by another and another. The energy of persistence is unstoppable. When you commit to consistent action, you show the universe that you're willing to work for what you want. This effort creates a ripple effect, influencing not just your immediate circumstances, but also the larger environment around you. It's as though the universe mirrors your determination, reflecting back opportunities and support in proportion to your efforts. Acting on your goals also helps you overcome the barriers that hold you back. Fear of failure, self-doubt, and uncertainty are common obstacles, but they lose their power when faced with consistent action. Each time you take a step forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. This builds resilience and a sense of self-trust. You start to see challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to grow stronger and more skilled. Every action you take is a declaration of your intentions. It's a statement to yourself and the world that you are committed to your vision. This declaration carries a powerful energy that influences everything around you. It changes how you see yourself and how others perceive you. People are drawn to those who act with purpose and determination. Support, collaboration, and encouragement often come from unexpected places when you show that you are serious about your goals. Action also creates possibilities you can't predict. No matter how much you plan, you can't anticipate every opportunity or challenge that will arise. Acting allows you to discover paths you wouldn't have seen otherwise. It places you in situations where chance encounters, unexpected ideas, or unplanned opportunities can occur. These moments of serendipity are not random, they are the result of your willingness to engage with life. The alignment created by action is not instant, but it is inevitable. With consistent effort, you begin to see progress, even if it's small at first. Each step builds on the last, creating a momentum that carries you closer to your goals. The process is not always linear. There may be detours, setbacks, and adjustments, but these are part of the journey, not reasons to stop. Every effort you make brings you closer to the life you envision, and the universe responds in kind. The mind is a tool, not a master. It's designed to serve you, to help you make decisions, solve problems, and create solutions. However, when left unchecked, it can become a barrier, amplifying doubts, fears, and endless what-ifs. Overthinking is a sign that the mind has taken control, and instead of moving forward, you become trapped in cycles of analysis and hesitation. This is not where growth happens. Growth occurs when you recognize the mind's proper role and take back control, using it to propel you toward action rather than letting it hold you back. Many of us allow the mind to dictate what we can or cannot achieve based on fears of failure, criticism, or uncertainty. We tell ourselves we're not ready, that the circumstances aren't right, or that we don't have enough information to proceed. But these are just thoughts, not facts. The mind's tendency to overanalyze and seek certainty is a defense mechanism designed to keep you safe from perceived risks, but safety often comes at the cost of opportunity. True mastery comes when you understand that your thoughts are not commands, they are tools you can use to shape your actions and outcomes. You don't have to listen to every doubt or fear that arises. Instead, you can choose to focus on thoughts that empower you, motivate you, and drive you forward. The moment you realize that your mind is a tool and not your master, you gain the freedom to take action despite uncertainty or fear. Action is what turns possibilities into reality. The mind can visualize, dream, and plan, but without action, these remain intangible ideas. Think of the mind as a blueprint for a building. It outlines the structure, the design, and the details, but the blueprint alone doesn't create the building. It takes effort, materials, and consistent work to bring the blueprint to life. Similarly, your dreams and goals need action to transform from ideas into tangible results. The mind often seeks perfection before it allows you to start. It tells you that you need all the answers, every resource, and a flawless plan before you can begin. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for it only delays your progress. The truth is, you don't need to have everything figured out to take the first step. Clarity comes with movement. As you act, you learn, adapt, and grow, discovering what works and what doesn't. This process of trial and error is far more valuable than any amount of overthinking. One of the most liberating realizations is that mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. The mind often views mistakes as something to be avoided at all costs, but in reality they are a natural part of growth. Every successful person, every great achievement, is built on a foundation of lessons learned through action. Mistakes teach you what doesn't work and guide you toward what does. They build resilience, sharpen your skills, and prepare you for greater challenges ahead. When you take action, you shift your focus from internal doubts to external possibilities. You stop being consumed by what might go wrong and start seeing what could go right. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Each step forward, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. This positive cycle of action and growth silences the mind's doubts and replaces them with a sense of capability and purpose. The mind thrives on clarity, but clarity doesn't come from endless contemplation. It comes from engaging with the world, from trying, failing, adjusting, and trying again. The more you act, the more information you gain, and the clearer your path becomes. You don't need to have a perfect plan, you just need to start. The first step may feel uncertain, but it is also the most powerful. It sets everything else in motion and opens doors you didn't even know existed. There is a natural flow to life that action taps into. The moment you decide to move forward, Even if the way isn't entirely clear, you align yourself with that flow. Opportunities begin to arise and solutions appear not because they weren't there before, but because you've positioned yourself to see and seize them. When you take the initiative, you demonstrate to yourself and the world that you're serious about your goals, and the energy you put into action is often met with support and momentum. Your mind can suggest a million reasons to wait, hesitate, or stop altogether, but you always have the power to choose differently. You can acknowledge the doubts, thank them for their caution, and then move forward anyway. Each time you do this, you reinforce the truth that you are in control, not your fears or uncertainties. Action isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. It moves you closer to your dreams, builds your confidence, and transforms your potential into reality. Use your mind to guide and inspire you, but don't let it control you. Take the first step, and then another, trusting that clarity and progress will follow. The mind is a tool, use it, but don't let it rule you. Dreams require action, not just thought. It's easy to imagine the life you want, the goals you hope to achieve, and the changes you wish to see, but without action they remain intangible ideas. Thinking about your dreams can be inspiring, even comforting, but it's the steps you take toward them that give them substance. You can visualize success in vivid detail, but visualization alone is like admiring a seed without planting it. The seed holds potential, but until it's placed in the soil and nurtured with effort, it will never grow. Many people believe that the strength of their dreams lies in how clearly they can see them in their minds. They spend hours imagining the outcome, creating elaborate plans, and visualizing every detail. While this can be a powerful first step, it's not enough. The real power of a dream lies in its ability to drive action. It's what you do with that vision that determines whether it becomes a reality. The distance between dreaming and achieving is bridged by effort, persistence, and a willingness to act despite fear or uncertainty. The path to achieving dreams is rarely straightforward. Challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are inevitable. But these are not reasons to give up, they are opportunities to grow. Action doesn't guarantee immediate success, but it does guarantee progress. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Even missteps are valuable because they teach you what doesn't work and help refine your approach. The lessons you learn through action are lessons you cannot gain through thought alone. Waiting for the perfect moment to act is one of the most common ways people delay their dreams. They tell themselves they need more time, more resources, or more knowledge before they can begin. But the perfect moment is a myth. Life rarely aligns all the circumstances in your favor at once. If you wait for everything to feel just right, you may wait forever. The truth is, the best time to act is now. You don't need to have everything figured out, you only need to start. Each step you take will reveal the next, and as you move forward, the path will become clearer. Action requires courage, because it often means stepping into the unknown. It means risking failure, facing criticism, and dealing with uncertainty. But the alternative, staying still and letting your dreams fade, is far more costly. Regret for what you didn't do is heavier than the weight of any challenge you might face along the way. Action, even imperfect action, brings freedom. It frees you from the doubts and fears that come with inaction and replaces them with the confidence that comes from knowing you're moving closer to what you want. The world rewards those who act, not just those who dream. Opportunities arise for those who are willing to take risks, put in the work, and stay persistent. When you take action, you position yourself to receive the support, connections, and resources that can help you succeed. It's as though the energy you put into pursuing your dreams creates a ripple effect, drawing the right circumstances and people toward you. But this momentum only begins when you take that first step. Action transforms the abstract into the tangible. It's the process of bringing what exists in your mind into the world. Without action, even the most brilliant ideas will remain unexpressed. A painter's vision doesn't become art until they pick up a brush. A writer's story doesn't inspire until it's written down. An entrepreneur's idea doesn't impact lives until it's turned into a product or service. Whatever your dream may be, it will remain out of reach unless you're willing to act on it. It's important to understand that action doesn't have to be grand or overwhelming. Small, consistent steps are often more effective than sporadic bursts of effort. Building momentum through daily progress not only brings you closer to your goal, but also strengthens your commitment to it. Each small success builds confidence, reinforcing your belief in your ability to achieve what you've set out to do. Fear of failure often holds people back from acting on their dreams. They imagine worst-case scenarios, wondering what might happen if things don't go as planned. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful person has faced setbacks and made mistakes. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from these experiences and keep moving forward. Failure is not a reason to stop, it's proof that you're trying. Each failure is a step closer to success because it provides valuable lessons you wouldn't have gained otherwise. Action requires commitment. It's not about trying once and giving up if things don't work out immediately. It's about showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying focused on your goal, even when progress feels slow. Dreams take time to materialize, and the journey is often longer and more challenging than you expect. But persistence, fueled by consistent action, ensures that you keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. The beauty of taking action is that it transforms not only your circumstances but also you as a person. With every step, you become more confident, capable, and resilient. You discover strengths you didn't know you had and develop skills you didn't think you needed. The process of working toward your dreams shapes you into the person who is ready to achieve them. The transformation you experience through action is as valuable as the goal itself. Overthinking creates paralysis. It traps us in a loop of endless analysis, weighing possibilities and anticipating outcomes that may never happen. This state of indecision robs us of momentum and prevents us from making the choices that could change our lives. Many people believe they need every piece of the puzzle to fall into place before they begin. But this mindset delays action indefinitely. Instead of moving forward, they remain stuck, held back by their own doubts and fears. The truth is, clarity and answers rarely come before we take action. More often than not, they emerge because we take action. Think about how many times you've hesitated, only to realize later that the situation was much simpler than you made it out to be. The path ahead doesn't always need to be perfectly clear. Sometimes the only way to uncover the next step is to take the first one. Action is the antidote to uncertainty. It cuts through the noise of hesitation and illuminates possibilities we couldn't see while standing still. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool, capable of shaping your reality and influencing your circumstances. But like any tool, it must be used correctly. When overthinking takes over, the mind becomes a barrier rather than an asset. It magnifies fear, amplifies doubt, and keeps us focused on everything that could go wrong. Yet the mind's true power lies in its ability to focus, to imagine solutions, and to push us toward inspired action. When you quiet the inner critic and take charge of your thoughts, you regain control of this tool and direct its energy toward building, rather than breaking down. The process of creation, whether it's achieving a goal, pursuing a dream, or transforming your life, begins with action. Vision is important, it gives you direction and purpose, but vision alone is not enough. It's like having a seed in your hand. You can admire it, think about how it might grow, or even imagine the tree it could become, but unless you plant it in the soil, water it, and nurture it, that seed will remain just a seed. Similarly, your dreams require effort to come alive. Action is what bridges the gap between possibility and reality. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin, thinking they need ideal conditions to succeed. They fear failure, criticism, or making mistakes, and so they tell themselves they'll start when they feel more ready, or when the time is just right. But here's the truth: the perfect moment doesn't exist. It's a construct of the mind designed to keep us comfortable and safe. Waiting for perfection leads to endless delays, and the longer you wait, the more opportunities slip away. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. Even the smallest steps forward bring you closer to your goals, while waiting keeps you in the same place. Perfectionism is a subtle form of fear. It disguises itself as a noble pursuit, convincing you that you're simply striving for excellence. But in reality, it's a way to avoid the vulnerability of starting something new or stepping into the unknown. The irony is that true growth and mastery only come through taking imperfect action. Every misstep teaches you something valuable. Every stumble builds resilience, and every attempt, no matter how small, brings you closer to your desired outcome. When you decide to act, even without having all the answers, you set a powerful chain of events into motion. The universe responds to movement. Opportunities arise, doors open, and the right people and resources appear to support your journey. None of this happens when you're stuck in your head, overanalyzing every detail. But the moment you take a step forward, you activate a force greater than yourself, a force that aligns circumstances in your favor and guides you towards success. It's easy to convince yourself that the stakes are too high, that failure would be catastrophic, or that you need to know more before beginning. But the truth is, most of these fears are exaggerated by your own mind. In reality, the act of starting often dissolves the very fears that held you back. With each step, you gain confidence, momentum, and clarity. The challenges you once dreaded seem less daunting, and the path ahead becomes more navigable. There's a sense of freedom that comes with action. It liberates you from the weight of overthinking and propels you into a state of flow, where progress feels natural and effortless. Each decision builds on the one before it, creating a rhythm that carries you forward. Action transforms abstract ideas into tangible results. It takes your vision out of your mind and brings it into the world, where it can grow, evolve, and impact not only your life but the lives of those around you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a perfect plan or complete certainty. What you need is the courage to begin. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what carries you forward when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. Start where you are with what you have. Take the first step and trust that the path will reveal itself as you go. Action reveals answers. Often we find ourselves stuck, waiting for perfect clarity or a flawless plan before we make a move. But the truth is, answers rarely come while we're standing still. They emerge when we engage with the world, when we step forward, and when we trust the process enough to take a leap. Each action brings new insights, experiences, and opportunities that we couldn't see or access from a place of hesitation. The solutions you seek, the clarity you desire, and the steps you're unsure of all become visible as you take consistent, deliberate action. Overthinking often stems from a fear of failure or making mistakes. It's natural to want to get things right the first time, but this fear often stops us before we even begin. We spend hours analyzing scenarios, predicting outcomes, and convincing ourselves we're not ready. What we fail to realize is that readiness is not something you wait for, it's something you create through action. Every small move you make builds confidence, sharpens your skills, and prepares you for the bigger steps ahead. The only way to truly prepare is by doing. Waiting for everything to fall into place or for the perfect moment to arrive is one of the greatest illusions. Perfection is a myth, and the pursuit of it often leads to procrastination. Life doesn't wait for you to feel completely ready, and the opportunities you delay may not come around again. Instead of chasing perfection, embrace progress. Even the smallest step forward is more powerful than the grandest plan left unrealized. Progress is messy, imperfect, and sometimes uncomfortable, but it's also the only way to move closer to your goals. Think about how many opportunities have been lost because of hesitation. How many times have you looked back and wished you had started sooner? The fear of failure, criticism, or making the wrong choice often keeps us from acting, but inaction is a choice to stay where you are. And staying still, no matter how safe it feels, often leads to regret. Action, on the other hand, opens doors. It may not always lead to immediate success, but it will always lead to growth, learning, and new opportunities. Action is powerful because it shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what's possible. It moves you out of your head and into the real world, where things happen and change becomes possible. The first step may feel uncertain, even scary, but it's also the most liberating. Once you begin, you'll often find that the challenges you anticipated are not as daunting as you imagined. Momentum builds quickly when you decide to start, and each step makes the next one easier. The mind can be a great ally or a formidable barrier. When used effectively, it helps you solve problems, plan, and create. But when consumed by overthinking, it becomes a hindrance, amplifying doubts and fears. The mind thrives on clarity, but clarity doesn't come from endless contemplation. It comes from action. Each move forward gives your mind new information to work with, allowing it to adapt and find solutions in ways it couldn't when you were standing still. There's a natural flow to life that action taps into. The moment you take that first step, you align yourself with the energy of movement and change. Opportunities begin to appear not because they weren't there before, but because you weren't in a position to see or act on them. The world responds to action. It rewards effort, persistence, and the willingness to step into the unknown. Waiting for everything to align perfectly before you act is like waiting for the ocean to calm completely before setting sail. The journey begins when you push off from the shore, not when the waves disappear. You don't need to have every detail figured out before you start. What you need is faith in your ability to adapt and learn as you go. Challenges will arise, that's inevitable. But with each challenge comes a lesson, and with each lesson you grow stronger and more capable. The process of taking action transforms you, building resilience, confidence, and clarity along the way. Life rewards those who are bold enough to act, not because they are free from fear, but because they choose to move forward despite it. Action is what turns potential into reality. It's what transforms dreams into results. The energy and focus you bring to each step forward have a ripple effect, creating momentum that carries you further than you thought possible. The answers you seek are not hidden in endless planning or perfect timing. They are waiting for you on the other side of action. Begin now with what you have from where you are. The path will unfold as you walk it. The more you move forward, the clearer the journey becomes. Every step is progress. Every effort brings you closer to the life you're capable of creating.